So, ladies and gentlemen, when you talk about the greatest documentary series of the 1970s, one creation comes up in all the major critics and fans lists. Now, we're going to talk a little bit today about the groundbreaking series, The World at War. Now, The World at War, which was first shown on British television in the 1973-74 season, ran for 26 episodes, and again, it chronicled the major events of the Second World War. When it was completed in 1973, it cost about £1 million, which was equivalent to 25 million Canadian in 2019, and it was the most expensive factual series ever made. Now, it was produced by Jeremy Isaacs, narrated by Laurence Olivier, and composer Carl Davis created such a stunning theme song for the opener of the series and all the incidental music. And its opening salvo with the fire turning into the different characters and people that were impacted by the war is just chilling. Now, the World of the War book was published the same year, and it was written by Mark Arnold Forster to accompany the TV series. Now, although the series had been criticized through the years because it mostly relied on the major powers and experience of their soldiers, and I tend to agree there's not much on the Canadians and Aussies and New Zealanders, mostly the American and British view, which happens sometimes when you have a major production and those there want to keep to the most important facts in their view. Now, it did attract widespread acclaim and is still considered a landmark in British TV history. Has been ranked as the number 19 top show in British history and the highest ranked documentary. Now, the show took a very interesting look at the conflict by interviewing survivors and some people who caused the major incidents or served in the major incidents, including the Germans, which is highly controversial because some of the information seemed to be, to certain people, showed them as apologists for what Hitler and the Axis powers did. Now, everything is covered in the series, 26 episodes, including details of, the pre-war, including Spanish Civil War, Mussolini, Hitler, Toto, the late entry to war with the States in 41, the Quiet War between 39 and 41, and talk about the overall impact of the war. Now, Isaacs had been inspired to look at the production of a long-form documentary series um, following the broadcast of the important series, The Great War in '64. Now, now because the BBC series didn't show most archive film, a lot of film recreations. Now, the program World of War is as authentic as possible. I think 75% of the 52-minute episodes were archive footage, and it was cut quite kind of tight because there's meaning in Laurence Olivier's narration that goes beyond the presentation of the verite or the cinema verite. Now, I must warn you, there's many scenes in the series that are graphic, especially concentration scenes and the different major campaigns, including the cold weather campaign between Germany and Russia, Stalingrad, also the Asiatic campaign. Is what you see is what happened. Now, the total running time of the series is almost 23 hours. Now, there's also been the DVD and Laserdisc releases that included half an hour archived B-roll episodes, which gives the viewer a breakdown. But very quickly, let's just go over the episodes. Number one, the New Germany, 33-39. Number two, Distant War, what I talked about, the Quiet War. France Falls, Alone, the Battle of, talks about the Battle of Britain. Barbarossa, the Germany, the big campaign, the invasion of the Soviet Union. The Japan campaign, 31 to 42. USA finally entered the war, 39-42. The Desert, North Africa. Stalingrad, the Wolf Pack, U-boats in the Atlantic. Red Star, the Soviet Union campaign. Whirlwind, the bombing campaign of Germany. Truffle Gut, the Italy campaign. It's a Lovely Day Tomorrow, Burma. Home Fires, the Britain, talking about the Battle of Britain, and also the first V1 attacks. Number 16, Inside the Reich. Number 17, Operation Overlord in the episode Morning. Number 18, Occupation Holland, 40 to 44. Number 19, Pincers Operation Dragoon, including the liberation of Paris. Um, the genocide, number 20, it's the Defying Solution, concentration camps. Nemesis, Germany, Final Invasion, February, May 45. Japan campaign, 41 to 45. Pacific campaign, 47 to 45. The bomb, talking about the two nuclear bombs on Japan. Reckoning, situation in post-war Europe, April 45. And remember, look back on the experiences as told by witnesses and survivors. Now, the additional episodes, again, like I said, first released in 2001, very interesting. And the book is a great compilation. Now, for anybody who's a veteran or as a like a Legion member or whatever, again, it's a very British show. And like I said, Laurence Olivier, what you see is what you get. But some people have criticized this because not much is mentioned about the Canadians, the Kiwis, the Australians, the Indians, the Commonwealth forces. But like I said, it's just what it is. It's one version, but in many cases, it's the definitive version. It's, if you wanted to learn something about World War II, being a novice, it would give you 80% of the vision because it was a 1970s perspective where the survivors of the war, both good and bad, were still alive. And me, it ranks as one of my favorite series of all time, not because I celebrate what they were talking about. The fact is, on Saturday afternoons and Sunday afternoons, on the old ATV channel, which was CTV Atlantic now, would show the episodes uncut and to sit down and learn about your history. I think in Canada we're shown on ETV in the mid 1970s after the initial ITV broadcast or Thames TV, and it was an eye opener, and it started my appreciation of world history, which carried on in my years in middle school and high school. Now, the only way you can describe the series, it was needed at the time because we were starting to expand on the documentary looks. The mid 70s was a great time for documentarians across the world, especially US, UK, and Canada. And this was an example of the dedication. And I think it influenced Michael Moore and everybody else. So World of War, if you can find it, there are some episodes on YouTube, but mostly illegal cuts, as we say. But if you want to get a DVD version, I think A&E, the initial repackaging is still available at a good price. But like I said, the total series altogether with the expanded half-hour episodes, again, 35 to 40 hours. And if you're a big fan, it might be something as a gift to a story in the family, because when you see the episodes, they'll stand with you because it's a what you see is what you get. And personally, like I said, I was very fascinated by two episodes: the Battle of the Pacific, and also the talking about the Mussolini and the Hitler Reich years. It's quite interesting just to see their take on key battles and key situations. You don't point fingers. You don't say, well, the Americans should have arrived early or whatever. It's just like I said, what you see is what you get. And the music, though, is chilling. When you hear it for the first time, you'll never forget it. So on this COVID Thursday, hope everybody is safe. Don't forget, it is spring in New Brunswick finally after two snowstorms in recent days. Go out, keep your safe distance, and if you see what you like today, please give me a like, subscribe, or a comment. It's always appreciated. But hopefully the spammers will stay away. I want real people commenting, not a bunch of people who are just looking for hits. I'm not looking for hits. I'm looking for truth. Have a good day. Bye.